Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this new video in which I will talk about the anime movie Kimi no Na wa, or also known as Your Name. I recently got a request to do a video about that, so that's what I'm going to do right now. Just want to talk a little bit about that, though I kind of structured my video a little bit like a review, so first I'm telling something about the plot and then I will give you some feedback with my pro and con list. But I have to say, I have only one small point at the negative points list. I mostly will like how good this anime is and why I like it so much. Let's just begin a little with the plot. The girl Mitsuha is a high school girl and lives in the town of Itomori in Japan's mountainous Haida region. Because she is so bored, she wants to be a boy at times. She wishes to be a handsome boy in her next life. And Taki is a high school boy in Tokyo. One day they both start to switch their bodies at night, so they wake up in the body of the other person the next morning and just thinking, what the hell's going on? Where am I? Who am I? Because that's really strange, they start to communicate by leaving notes on like Mitsuha's notebook or on Taki's phone. They even leave some notes on their bodies, so they write it with a permanent pen or a Sharpie on their skin, and then they wake up and look like, who are you? Is written on their arm or something like that. So and that continues kind of every day. So one day Mitsuha is in Taki's body and the other way around, and one day she's in her body again. It starts to be kind of really fun, and Mitsuha causes Taki to develop a relationship with his co-worker Miki, so he has a crush on her, and Taki causes Mitsuha to become more popular in school because she's not that popular and more shy than he. One day, Taki as Mitsuha accompanies her grandmother and sister to leave the ritual alcohol Kuchi Kami Sake. So you know this sake, rice wine or stuff. I don't know exactly what that is, but it's kind of Japanese alcohol, something whatever. That is made by Mitsuha. The shrine is believed to represent the body of the village guardian god who rules human experiences and connections. Mitsuha's latest note tells Taki about a comet expected to pass Earth on the day of her town festival. And one day Taki wakes up in his body, and after he had an unsuccessful date with Miki, he tries to call Mitsuha, but he cannot reach her, and they stop switching their bodies, so it doesn't work kind of anymore. So he decides to visit Itomori, but he doesn't know its name, and his memories are fading. All the memories about Mitsuha and her name and all that, and all the messages disappear. But somehow he managed to go there, and a restaurant owner and Hida finally recognizes Itomori from Iraki's sketch and tells him it was destroyed by a fragment of the comet. And Taki finds Mitsuha's name in the record of fatalities and discovers the date of the disaster. He realizes their timelines were separated by 3 years. So they were not both in the same time when their story with switching bodies happened. He lived like 3 years in the future and she lived 3 years in the past. So Taki goes to the shrine to drink Mitsuha's sake and hopes that he can reconnect with her body and warn her from the comet strike. And through a vision, Taki discovers that Mitsuha has fallen in love with him and met his southpaws while trying to meet him personally. He wakes in her body on the morning of the town festival, and Mitsuha's grandmother deduces his identity and tells him the body switching is part of the Miyazumi family story. He convinces Mitsuha's friends Tessie and Sayaka to help evacuate the town by cutting the power and broadcast a false emergency alert. But the plan fails. He realizes that Mitsuha must be in his body at the shrine and goes back to find her. And yeah, I actually didn't want to tell you that much about the plot because that would be not interesting. So I can just say, just watch it, okay? I can't tell you anything else because it's so damn good. It just has to be watched. So basically it was released in 2016. Fun fact here, the music was composed by the J-rock band Radwimps. Some of you maybe know this. Yeah, let's just start with the positive points because the only negative point has to do something with the end. I want to make it a little bit more chronologically. First, I really love the drawing style. It's this modern drawing style, but it has kind of a little touch of a mix of all drawing styles, and I just like it. It's so clean, it's well defined, it has well proportions, and it's just very beautiful and how they are drawing all the landscapes. And then I like the idea combination. So first, the body switching thing. Honestly, when I watched it, I was like, somewhere I heard of this idea, so you know, maybe in other movies or series, but I like that they made a romantic story of it, so that these both who are switching their bodies fall in love with each other. It's kind of weird that they fall in love with each other when they are in the body of the other person. So you have to imagine you're a girl and then you switch bodies with the boy, and you're in the body of the boy now, and while you're in the body of this boy you fall in love with this boy and kind of you fall in love with yourself. I don't know, it's kind of really strange, but yeah, that was funny. Moreover, I like the progress of the plot, so how it develops. So at the beginning it's kind of really funny and amusing, and then it starts to get deeper and more serious, and that's what I really like about things like that. Romance movies or films or animes, that it's not like dramatic from the very beginning, that you just have to kind of get in touch with the characters and all that stuff. It was kind of more realistic then, you know? What I also like about it are the dramatic, creative aspects, like the time gap between these two characters, so that they are not switching bodies at the same time, which makes the whole story possible. Otherwise, it wouldn't make any sense. So he wouldn't try to kind of go back in time in her body and warn her. It had a lot of suspense in those moments, or in this period of time when he was trying to reach her and to warn her, and that was really hard for him, and I just really loved and enjoyed watching it. What I also like is the characters. They are well defined. They are not cliche characters at all, which is really good, because otherwise this anime would be a total flop if the main characters who are mostly seen had bad character traits. So I like the way they created them. They were different, but they were realistic, kind of. You could meet a person like that on the street. And what I liked about it are the emotions that are transferred in that movie. As I said, it had a lot of suspense in it. When I watched it, I felt this tension like in my heart, in my body, and I was so excited for the next steps, and I was so fevering for him that he could reach her and he could give this information to her and all that stuff. You were totally in there, and these emotions they transferred, and in a good way. And this belongs also to the touching elements, which I really liked here, which weren't like exaggerated typical nonsense points. Here it was just so amazing. The moment when they first met each other in Itomori town on this mountain, where you can see many pictures where they're standing and there's this little light between them, which is kind of like a mirror, or I don't know, a gap to the other side, to the other time, or whatever this is, which is separating them. When they are able to come together for just a couple of minutes, and they want to write their names on each other's arm so they can remember the other person, because, you know, their memories are fading with the time. Instead of writing his name on her arm, he just writes, "I love you." She cries, and I guess she's happy and so sad at the same time, which I could so understand. I was crying as well. I was just, oh my god, how could this happen? I think he just really wanted to tell her that he loves her, and it was more important to him that she knew at last that. Though she would forget, because all their memories are fading, and that doesn't make sense, but it was just really touching. Oh my god, so many tears, and everything was so fine. As I said, the drawing style, the perspectives, the view, the music, and it's just so well made. I can't even describe it. I just tell you, watch it. If you like romance, but you don't like this cliche typical 0815 standard romance thing like me, then this is such a good option for you. This is more realistic, so I mean more realistic when it comes to the characters and their behaviors. It's just such an interesting story, so creatively made, and it just shows that two people want to be together but they can't, because destiny is separating them from each other. And this is so sad and so emotional and full of passion at the same time, and this is what really amazes me about that. It's just a masterpiece. I can't say anything to that. This is something I could watch 100 of times and I wouldn't get fed up of it. So there's still the negative point. I haven't told you about it. Yeah, well, it's the end, because it was so open, you know? I'm watching this movie. It has 107 minutes. And then I'm at minute 104 or 5, and there are only 2 or 3 minutes left until the very end of the movie. What happens? The two guys, so Taki and Mitsuha, after they kind of managed to survive this catastrophe, after he managed to warn her, and I don't remember every single detail because it's been a while since I was watching it the last time. But after they met, they already like adults, grown up, and time has passed, and she's alive, 3 years older than him, but anyways. And then they kind of meet each other in the subway or on the street while he's on his way to work, and she's kind of, I don't know what she's doing. But no, wait, stop. This was so interesting. This was really an interesting moment. He was sitting in one subway and she in another one, and that moment when the two subways were kind of next to each other, heading to another station, and that's when they saw each other in the other subway. Then they run out of the subway through the crowd, trying to see each other, and then they kind of meet in the street. He's standing on the one side, she on the other one, and they're looking at each other, and then they are passing by each other as if nothing has ever happened, and I'm just like, this can't be the end. This can't be the end. I'm going to kill the producers if that's the end. And you know what? They're passing by, and in the very last moment, in the very last second, they're both turning around and asking like, Kimi no nawa. So what's your name? And that's how the movie ends. My heart was racing. I thought it would jump out of my chest. I was frustrated. I was angry, but I was surprised at the same time, and I was relieved at the same time, and I wanted to cry at the same time. And there was a mixture of 100 different feelings in my chest, in my head, different thoughts, and I was like, oh my god, if they wouldn't have met each other, if they would have been passed by each other, and if none of them would have turned around, I'd have called the producers. I'd have shouted on them and told them they should make a second part, just because this can't be the end. The whole story, the whole rescuing story, searching the other person and love and tension and blah, was for nothing? No, this couldn't be. This is impossible. Oh my god. My feelings are fatal down. Yeah, that's all I can tell you about that. I just recommend to watch it, and I guess nobody who didn't watch it yet is watching this now, because I said at the beginning of the video that this is pure spoiler, and I don't like spoilers. I don't know if anyone likes spoilers, but I don't. So most of you have watched it, so I don't even need to ask if someone of you watched it. No, I mean, yeah, okay. Did someone watch it, or haven't someone watched it yet? I don't know. Leave it in the comments, or leave your opinion on the anime movie in the comments. Do you like it? Do you maybe not like it, and why? And what do you like most about it? What are critical points, etc, etc, etc. Yeah, that's it, what I have to say. I enjoyed telling you a little bit about it, though this was kind of really unprepared, this video. Really, I have just some notes down here, so that's why it was kind of a little bit chaotic while I was presenting all that to you. But still, I hope you understood my points. I can just repeat, it's amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing. I could watch it 100 times, 200, 300. It wouldn't be enough, you know? So this is something that's really worth it. Yeah, so that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. So if yes, then give me a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe to see a lot of other stuff on this channel, which is really various if you love anime, K-pop, music, and all that stuff. Yeah, so now I hope you have a good week, a great time, and we'll see each other next time. Stay healthy and goodbye.